Yeah, please.
By the way, I can.
Hello, everyone. This is GitLab Community Office Hours today for Release Stage Group. My name is Andrei. I'm a front-end engineer here, and today I will be hosting this event. What we have in our agenda today, we will do a quick round of introductions from our team members that are present here, and then followed by the community members on the call. Then there will be a quick note about the quarterly hackathon that will be happening in GitLab. Some code walk through presented by Ahmed. Then Q&A section. Then we will highlight some issues that are seeking community contributions if we have time. And yeah, that's gonna be our meeting today. So then let's start with the introductions. Vlad, maybe you go first.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Vlad. I'm Vlad. I'm a acting engineering manager here at the release group at GitLab. Live in Amsterdam. I guess know most of you. We only have one new attendee today. Yeah, and I'll pass it over to Christos. Maybe you go next.
Hello. I'm Christos, a contributor program manager. I'm trying to help people contribute to GitLab and open source and work with contributors on UL and GitLab team members. I'm based in Berlin, and I will pass it over to Ahmed.
Hey everyone, so my name is Ahmed and I'm a backend engineer on the release team as well. I am also based in Berlin. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't know Festus is up until now, but that's great. I'm basically gonna be presenting today one of the issues we had on our 15.7 milestone, and that's about it. Andrew, you want to go next?
Yep, I'm Andrew Fontaine. I'm the other senior front-end engineer for the release group. I'm based in Toronto, Ontario, which is very, very far away from both Amsterdam and Berlin. And I think we've heard from everybody, or so we can move it to the community.
Yes, thanks, Andrea. So maybe I hope you guys have your mics on, or you can use the chat. So please, a quick introduction. Maybe we could start with Asutosh Panda. Can you hear us? Oh, great.
Yeah, hey, all this Ashton. I've been joining the release call for some time, and yeah, I'm a DevOps engineer from India, and taking part in this time the hackathon. I took part last time also. This time would like to contribute more in the development area. Last time I tried to contribute to the document section. This time, yeah, I have been looking more to contribute to the release area. Thank you.
Great to have you here. Thanks. Marco?
Marco, I think he might be in his office and work, so he left a note. I can verbalize for him.
Oh, yeah.
Marco here, based in Italy, been contributing for the past 7-8 months, and GitLab hero for the past couple of months, hacking around GitLab.
Great. Thanks, Marco. And finally, Zubin. Hope I pronounced it right.
Yeah, if you have an issue with the microphone or anything, you can also type in the chat and we will read it for you. but maybe we can continue in the meantime. Yeah.
But feel free to post about yourself anytime during this call. Great. So here then I will pass the stage to Christos, and he will tell us a little bit about the coming hackathon.
Thanks for letting me jump in. So I'm gonna share my screen really quickly. I'm not gonna take a lot of time. So we have our quarterly hackathon that is taking place. I started yesterday. The duration of the hackathon is from yesterday, the 29th of November until the 6th of December. On the hackathon website, you can find all the necessary information. It's really important. There is a requirement for this time, which is to RSVP here in our meetup event. The only reason that we're doing it is because when we calculating the points and the winners, it's a manual process that requires a lot of time and effort. So by RSVPing, it will allow us to have your email and be able to communicate with you after the hackathon. Otherwise, I need to go through every merge request, to go through the Git commits and trying to export your email from there in order to be able to email you. And it takes a lot of effort. Another change that we have in this hackathon is like technical writing / documentation is not considered as a contribution area. Here you can see all the contribution areas that are participating. The reason is there's going to be a documentation specific hackathon taking place in January. So you can identify issues to contribute to, including release stage issues here. So there is the security section, the front end section, the backend section, and the website handbook. Website handbook is not documentation or technical writing, so it's still an area to contribute to. This here you can find how to set up your development environment and also qualifying issues. Reminder that we're looking for issues labeled as seeking community contributions. And what I wanted to mention here is that yes, points for the awards are calculated based on the number of MRs that are contributing to issues. So if you have an MR contributing to an existing issue, your MR gets 5 points. If you have an MR that is not contributing to an issue, you get 1 point. So 1 week to submit your MRs, and then we have 1 month to review your MRs and to go through this interactive process, iterating if needed, make some changes to your MRs and work with project maintainers. The prizes, feel free to check them out. Other important information are the calls. Tomorrow we have another office hour call. All the information can be found in the agenda of this meeting. It's here we have right now the release dates office hour call, but if you go further down, we had yesterday from the hackathon kickoff call, all the important information here, prizes, important dates, some analytics, some questions, and some upcoming events. So yeah, if you need help, most important one, Discord, we have a hackathon channel, announcements, discussions. We already talk about, identifying issues to contribute to. And yeah, that would be it from my side. Thank you so much for giving me the stage. So back to you, friends.
Thanks, Christos. Great to participate. I think it's going to be fun. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the next topic of our agenda, and there's going to be some code walkthrough from Ahmed.
Thank you, Andrei. Please time me if I take like too much time. So, just keep track of the time, please, for me. Thank you. I'll be sharing my screen. And today we are basically, let me just hide the floating meeting controls. I did. And now, does everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So we have this issue here that we are working on for the milestone 15.7. And basically the issue is for adding or supporting finished after and finished before filters in the deployment API. That's basically what we are trying to do here. And if we walk through, like maybe before we start like jumping into the code, I'll walk you through the problem statement here and the proposal as well. It's the reason why we looked into, or like we want to add these two filters is because using updated ads is basically at the moment, from what I see, like here usually takes a bit more time, and at the same time it does not fetch the latest changes to an environment. When we do like try to fetch all the deployments for a certain project. So the idea was to allow customers and allow users of GitLab to actually filter by the finished ad instead. And here's some comparison as well for like how the two SQL queries like fare against each other. What we or like when this was created by Shinya, which is also like one of our colleagues, he proposed that we do the following code update, which would more or less make this work. So let's get to that. Before we start, like, or before we add the two options here, or like the two filters here, let's look at the deployments spec. That's the one. And what we want to do here is to add like a couple of tests, make sure that they are failing, and then like make them pass by adding the changes proposed here. So let's take, for example, this one, which is kind of like very similar to what we are going to do. So instead of the updated ad, we want to add with finished before and after filters specified, and we will have like a couple of like examples here. So let's do, it will return project deployments finished before specified the time range. The other one would be for finished after a specified the time range. And here, like this is, these two are going to be like the happy case more for the most part. I think I don't care about like seeing if there are errors for the time being, so we'll just like focus on these two. And what we want to do here is we will just like do these two here. In order to like perform this request, we want to do a couple of things. So we want to specify the status, and this will be finished before. And I think we would love to order this by finished at as well. So let's do the same thing. Sorry, whenever I like click on escape, I have Zoom like popping up this meeting controls thingy. And for this one, we will do finished after. And in both cases, we expect that the response would actually be okay. It would include the pagination headers here. And we would also like to expect that the JSON response we will receive will actually include the deployment. So let's do this. Let's say, for example, deployment 2. That's the one we are going to add here, like this add finished at. And this is going to be like finished 2 days ago, for instance. And for the other one, let's add finished at 1 day ago. So we leave the created ad and updated ads because like we don't care so much about them, and they're being used. These two deployments or objects have been or are being used in other spec examples. As you can see, what we're going to do here is that we want to make sure that whenever we like perform this request and we filter by the finished before, we will actually get this deployment. So let's try to do this. Let's say that deployment 2 has finished 2 days ago. So if we do like 3 days ago, finished before, sorry, not 3 days ago, like maybe, I don't know, 1 day ago. And for the other one, we will like finish after, I don't know, like, so this has finished 1 day ago, and we wanna make sure that it is included, or like it is retrieved when we make the call. So yeah, this is gonna be, I don't know, like finished after 2 days ago. Let's try this. So the next step here would be, let's just switch to a new branch here, and I want to test this before we start committing anything. This is in the requests ABI deployment spec. And let's just focus on these 2 spec examples. This will fail, basically, and because we don't have the filters in place yet. But what we are going to do is, as soon as we like finish, make sure that they fail, we add the filters, and then we take it from there. I'm sorry, like it's taking a bit more time. Like running specs locally usually takes a bit of time. And I mean, like, while this is actually running, what we could do is to actually look into this. So what does this do? If we go to deployments, I haven't saved, okay. If we go to the deployments ABI, you will see that we have like this endpoint basically that is returning inside the project's resource. We have an endpoint that returns all deployments of this project. And currently we have, as you can see, the updated after and before. And what we're going to do is to add like these 2 similar finished after. This will return deployments that finished after a specified date is expected in this format, and the other one would be finished before. And let's update this one, that finished before the specified date. It is also expected in the same format, so, and both of them will return this type, which is date time. I will get in a bit to how this works, but this actually, okay, this should have failed. Just a second, maybe I saved at the same time this was already loaded. Let's uncomment these and try again. It could also be something with the way I specified finished at and finished before and after here. I'm not really good with times, so that could also be the reason. So let's just wait. It's working actually, so that's kind of weird. Let me have a look again. So what happens here is that we are specifying finished at, and here finished before, finished after. Okay, it's funny because like I just did the same stuff in a merge request a couple of days ago, and I was using hours here. Okay, let's do something similar. Okay, 2 hours ago and 1 hour ago. Okay, and then this will have finished before 30 minutes ago. And 90 minutes ago. Let's try this again. It still works successfully, but it could be working successfully because of something here, which was actually this raised my attention earlier today. So initially we had like any params passed, and if this is the case, we are actually passing finished before and finished after to the deployments finder over here. If we use the striped params, I think this will fail actually. Come on.
While it's running, Ahmed, there was a question in the chat about what Zirch theme you're using.
What theme I'm using? I'm sorry, like, did I get this correctly?
Yeah, what ZSH theme are you using? Because you've got like some cool things in there which shows which Ruby version and other versions.
Yeah, so I can share this with you. I think I'm using so the theme I'm not sure at the moment, like, but I'm using for this like bar. There's this tool called Starship. I can likely Starship. Yeah, it's prompt you could use like in different shells, and it's a very nice one. The theme itself, I'm not sure, but I think the colors are actually coming from Starship. So
yeah, no,
well,
nice
one, like
I think Starship is the answer I was looking for. Thanks.
Sure. So we see here that this is actually failing, and it is failing because of the striped params actually. I think because we didn't define it. So declared, it's called declared. Why did I use this declared params? Let's try this again. So how does this work? As I said, how does it work without failing? The reason is likely because we, even if we didn't specify these two options here, or these two flags here, what was happening is that for like every param you are passing, this is actually being passed to the finder here. And if we look for the deployments finder, you will see that it already can process finished after and finished before. Now it is failing, but not for the same reason. It's showing a different failure. Okay, because the ID isn't correct. I mean, in either case, like what we want to do, or like how we are gonna like continue with this, is that we add these finished after and finished before. And if we just like go back here, we do berms as it was. In either case, it was gonna like work fine. And I mean, like usually what we do is that when you have the specs like running successfully and you have everything there, that's when you like submit a merge request. And the next steps usually are like if you need to add documentation, if you need to change like some of the documentation that we have already. Like for example, I have this another merge request that updates the documentation in the deployments ABI guide to make sure that we have finished before and after added to the documentation here. And we also like specify what other filters or like flags you have to specify. In this case, you cannot like use the finish before or finish after without the without actually specifying the status to be a success. So we are only like retrieving successful deployments because otherwise we don't have finished at specified, and we use the order by finished at as well. And if we just like go back here, I think aside from like this error of it's not an error, it's like a warning, I think. We see that they are actually all the dots over here on the side is actually running successfully, and that's it more or less. Again, it takes a bit of time. Cool. So I think from code perspective, we kind of like went through the changes here, and this is also like the merge request I eventually submitted. It has the all the information about the changes we are introducing, and also how these are affecting the queries, the SQL queries. And there's also like, usually we add this how to set up and validate locally so that we could test this locally. I think this is the part we didn't do. So if we have more time, I think we do still have a bit more time, Andre, right?
Yes, that's right. We have 14 minutes left for the
Cool,
whole.
nice.
So I think you have still like 10.
Yeah, cool. So I mean, like this is the part we didn't like try out. So like locally, if we were to try this, I have this small project here with some successful deployments on my machine, and we could like just try this locally. Let me add my GDK local token here. Sorry. Okay, just not fill once. Come on. And let's give the project ID. I think this project was 33. And just a second. Finished after, we want to add this. We finished after. Let's, if I remember correctly, we had some stuff. This was in August, 9th of August, and 2nd of August. So let's try something like, I don't know, like 4th of August, and it doesn't matter like the rest of it. We want to make sure that it's an ISO 86 format. So let's do August 2nd. And just pick this up. We want to have it in perhaps like UTC. So that's going to be the one we have. And let's try to do this locally and see what we get. This is actually taking a bit more time than usual. Okay, so we got all the stuff that has finished after the 4th, and in this case, I think, let's check that again. Like, I think all of them has finished on the 9th, except for the first one was on the 2nd. So these should be like, actually, so we have ID here. I think these were, these are like the 5th, sorry, like the 5 over here. And let's try it before this time. So if we change this to finished before, it should just be like one result. Yeah, it is not returning anything. I think there's something. I'm using the 2nd, sorry, not finished before the 2nd. Let's try finished before August. I don't know, like the 4th, for example. So this is returning just one of them, which is the 71th. I think that's the one we have over here. And if we do the same finished after, it's going to be like only 5 results. We could verify this by looking at the JSON returned here. Actually, let's just do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I guess that's it.
Great. Then we are perfectly on time. Thanks, Ahmed. That was insightful. Do you have any questions? Anything you would like to ask Ahmed or anyone in general?
There was one question about the GDK in the chat. So maybe you can quickly show, I don't know, how we can, where we can find the GDK and how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be done. So I can actually share the screen, I guess. Just a second. All right, so hope you can see the screen. To develop and work on GitLab, we all use GitLab Development Kit. It can be found here in basically gitlab.com in GitLab org group, GitLab Development Kit. So this is basically a development environment that you can use to get everything you need to run GitLab locally and be able to work on it and develop it. Please read through the documentation. It's pretty straightforward. There are different methods on how to install GDK and how to actually use it. This one-line installation actually does work. I can testify because I set it up not so long ago. It's very straightforward and easy. So just basically follow the instructions and you will have GDK installed. It will get you access to some commands like GDK install or GDK start or GDK stop and so on. There are also documentation about the commands, and that will allow you to basically start all the services that GitLab consists of, restart them if needed. You can plug in to any of the services to tail the logs and so on. So basically GDK is the stuff. It really works super smoothly and nicely. Do try it out. And I will share the link as well in the notes to this meeting.
If you have any issues
Unrelated.
getting GDK running, feel free to join us in Discord and ask for help. Yeah, I'll pop the Discord link in here for those who aren't already in Discord. But yeah, thanks, Christos. You beat me to it.
Unrelated, but if you want even more of the release group, Andre and I have been live streaming some paired programming sessions over on the GitLab Unfiltered channel. We try to do it every other Tuesday at I think 1 p.m. UTC. It's 9 or 10 a.m. 10 a.m. EST. So I'm not sure what the conversion is. And our last one was this Tuesday, so we should be having another session on the 12th of December. The recordings for those sessions are also on YouTube Unfiltered, so go check it out.
Yep.
Can I invite you to add them to a playlist? I think we have like that's great. First of all, thank you. We just got some feedback about the unfiltered. Is like there are thousands of videos, so it's really difficult for people to filter them out. So we started applying some community-related playlists. I'm gonna share the link if you can share the videos with me. I can apply. I can add them into the community. How is it called? Community tutorials, I think. Playlist. I'll find it and send it.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Great. Yeah, and thanks for promoting it, Andrew. Hope more people will join us on these pair programming sessions. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Right, so we have a couple of minutes left, so allow me to move to the last points of our agenda and highlight some of the recent contributions that we received from community contributors and provide a brief look through the list of the issues that are still looking for contribution. Then I will share the screen again. Here we go. So over the last milestone, we received 11 contributions from the community. I think that's a really great result. We very appreciate all the support and energy that community contributors put into it, and we try to be very supportive in the merge requests. So please do contribute. That's really nice experience, I think, for both of the parties. About the issues that are still looking the contributions is you can find them on the link that is attached here in the notes to our meeting. There are quite a few, and a lot of them are pretty straightforward, and I'd already suggest some implementation proposal that you could use. For example, if I open the first one, fix no method error, there is already like some patch even that you can apply and just check that everything works as needed. So those are also marked with this quick win label, so you could search them. So yeah, if you want to contribute, then please do. It's great, and it's a nice way to help the community. I guess that's about it. You can find all the information about the upcoming release community office hours in the Epic here. And of course, it will be announced in all the usual channels. Thanks, Christos, for supporting that. Any last moment things, something that I forgot to mention, but should have?
There is one question in the chat about the GitLab bot mentioned.
I
Yeah,
can take that.
Christos. Yeah.
Yeah, for the hackathon, Christine. Yeah, there is a bug with the GitLab bot. As mentioned yesterday, we cannot, when it comes to the MRs, the GitLab bot cannot understand whether the MR is referred to technical writing or documentation only MRs. So we doesn't know it. So that's why it automatically applies the hackathon label. But even though the hackathon is applied, we're gonna count the points for the winners, we're not gonna take these MRs into consideration. We're trying to find a solution. There is not an automatic solution right now, unfortunately. So apologies for the confusion. Even though the label is applied to MRs that are contributing to documentation issues, unfortunately, they're not going to be counted towards the prizes.
And there is another point from Anastasius. Could you put the recording of the YouTube in the Google Notes as well? And I think we will do it, right?
Yeah, if you ask about this video recording, yeah, we will add it to the agenda as well. And I guess I'll even post it on the Jitter, and maybe ask somebody to post it on the Discord.
I mean, if you put it on YouTube, I can share it across everywhere. Also,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll just put it
For
on
me,
YouTube and send you the link.
Yeah, for me yesterday, I tried to live stream it on YouTube when it was happening, but it didn't work through Zoom, so I don't know what's going on there.
Great. Then thanks a lot to everyone who joined. Thanks to Ahmed for presenting the live code walkthrough. And I hope to see you on the next release community office hours, which we will have probably already next year, but let's see. Stay tuned.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.